As Democrats throughout the country unite to defeat the fascist way in which we have been represented by the conservatives in Donald J. Trump and his leadership, I believe it's time for us to focus more on what we need to do and what our plan is as far as addressing some of the issues that face this ever-evolving country. And today on RodCast YouTube, we're going to focus on education, something that was focused on by one of the great Democratic leaders, not only in our century, but of all time, in Bill Clinton. He came up with the proficiency test to hold accountable teachers and students, to scrutinize the teamwork associated between the two in the schools throughout the countries here in the United States, giving us an eye line, if you will, to take a look at the median and take a look at what the averages are throughout the country and be able to focus not only the money, but focus our attention on what's going on and how to improve and solidify our children as they step out into the world and into college and become productive members of society. I believe the teachers union is probably pleased with the proficiency test overall. It's ever evolving and there's still work to do, but I think that it does hold us all accountable and lets us have a better insight as to what's going on with our children and what's going on as teachers and as administrators, much more than we had before Bill Clinton introduced it. When you take a look at some of the articles out there, I believe I picked one up in Newsweek that talked about schools in Beijing and Tokyo where the students were going to school year-round. And I think that in America, we're losing ground when it comes to education. And I think that the time that we're losing ground in is the summertime. This isn't going to be popular. So if you're in school, I would go do something else while I talk to your parents and teachers. In the summertime, I know from experience that we tend to get caught up in all of the festivities of summer. And we forget that we're at a critical age in our school years where we're collecting tools for ourselves. And our parents are assisting us as we go to school and become educated in the United States. So I don't see what would be wrong with, in the summertime, imposing mandatory classes for our students, elementary, junior high, high school, and have them study areas in which they may be lacking in the proficiency ratings, as well as adding things like citizenship, adding things like activities to keep them busy and out from underneath the video games. Say, for instance, to have a report due on here locally, the nature reserve on Clarksville Road over by the spillway. It's a wonderful place for children to go to learn about the ecology here in Warren County. They can also take a trip over and take some of the hike trails that are over at the spillway to investigate nature a little bit, to see some of the exhibits that the bullfrogs will put on, and to be able to appreciate Caesar's Creek, which is not a natural lake, and there was a lot of work put into it, and to identify all the different feelings, all the different lessons that they learn, and put it into a report and submit it online to some of these online educators. And that way, that in the summertime, our children are still growing. They're not growing stagnant, sitting in front of computers and TVs. And we can have them out in the communities so that they'll better understand things like the effects that litter may have on our ecology. And they may further appreciate the fact of the trash receptacles that are put in different places, and it may give them a different perspective on our planet. It may give them a different perspective on what summertime's all about, which is going out and enjoying everything in its blossom. Every region has different characteristics, and I think that we're losing that with our children. And I think that we can push them in the summertime to be more investigative into what's going on and to understand better that we are competing in the world. We're competing to create a better, more wholesome environment for the next generation. And that can be done through education in the summertime. And that would be one of my proposals as Ohio's governor. Thank you.